Harshit, can you present your screen for live?
Okay, so considering others' times is valuable, let's start the session. Meanwhile, others can also join later. Okay, so before starting up the session, I request you all to let you know all that what this session is all about. In this entire session, we will be covering all the challenges that you are facing nowadays in finding the right opportunity or in finding the right opportunity. Okay. So before starting the session, I request you all to please confirm if my screen is visible to you all. Okay. Thanks for confirming. Uh okay, so let me quickly share a poll with you all so that at least I can know about like in which category you all are so that I can address this session accordingly. Okay, so Are you able to see the poll? Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, you can start. You can start voting in the poll. Okay, requesting others as well to take part, do vote in the poll so that we can address accordingly. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I can say like most of you are either in the working professional or the students or the freshers who are looking. If you are like professional, working professional, then you are looking up for a switch. And if you are a student or a fresher, you are looking up for the new opportunities. Am I right? Yes. Perfect. Yes. 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 Okay. So if you are for like looking up for the new opportunity, let me share with you a quick new poll so that you can I can at least know like which company you are targeting on. And for that, I request you all, please do mention if you're looking out for any other company so that we can address that as well. Okay, perfect product base. Okay, you are looking up for the bank companies. Some are also looking for the banking companies. Perfect. For the hedge funds and all. Perfect. Let's wait for 1 minute for all to like vote in the poll. Okay, so most of you guys are already looking out for either the product based company or the FANG companies, or even if I'm saying the banking companies, then you are looking out for the like top banking companies I'm considering, right? And if you are looking out for any other companies or any other organizations, please do let me know in the chat so that I can address accordingly to them. But yeah, before starting up the session, I would request you all to considering it as a small session where I'll be considering all of your doubts and not going into the deep of any particular doubt. But request you all, if you have any other doubts, please feel free to add it into the chat or book the trial session. Okay. And yeah, okay, so few of you are still saying the startups. Okay, perfect. Startup unicorns. Amazing. Okay, so because Fang Mang is nothing but just the Fang companies, the Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Mang is just a synonym of that, like Facebook has turned up to the Meta, so it's the same. Okay, so yeah, before going into that, let's get started. Okay. So what we will covering in this session, we will be covering all the key challenges that you are facing nowadays. As you told me that you are still, if you are working somewhere, what are the challenges you are facing? As a student, what challenges you are facing? And as a Fresher, what are the challenges you are facing these days? Okay. And these challenges, I'm considering that these challenges might be different for if you are applying for a startup, and these might be different if you're applying for a product based company or any FANG or any banking based companies. Okay. So let me quickly give a poll so to know you better, like which challenges you are actually facing these days. Mm, okay. Can you look up into the poll? I have addressed another poll. Okay, most of you are stuck at the resume not getting shortlisted. Fine, you are getting rejected in the interviews. Got it, got it. Perfect. Okay. Meanwhile, others are voting. Let me start the session. So, perfect. So, from this poll, I can conclude that the major challenge that you are facing is your resume are not getting shortlisted for the company while you are applying for it, right? And so this is not just any particular I'm assuming that this is not a very particular problem for the man company, the product based companies. This is the same even if you're applying for a startup or you're applying for the MNC. So what you can do is like your resume is not getting shortlisted, right? You are continuously applying and applying, and your resume are not shortlisted at all, and the companies are just ghosted, and you're not getting the response, right? This is what the I'm assuming your problem is, right? So for that, basically what you can do is, see, your resume is just like an overview of all the stuffs that you did in last couple of years, right? Once you enter into the college, you do number of things, you do the coding, you start participating in the contest, you start making up the projects, you started giving up the open source contribution, and these all the things, they are the something that you mention into your project in your resume, right? And someone has said like aggregate of my P 59%. How can I tackle this? Okay, perfect, Prajwal. I'll definitely consider this point as well. Like, what is the CGPA what is the role that CGPA plays while considering the placements? Definitely, I'll consider. But let's get started from that. Let's get started from the major point, that is the resume not getting shortlisted for others. So if you're so considering the resume is just like an overview of all the things that you did, it is highly important to give a resume review at least twice with number of people, at least twice with different people of different skill set or of the different fields, so that at least you can know ki which resume fits for that organization. ठीक है? फॉर दैट आई जस्ट मेंट कि एक रिज्यूमे से आप सब कंपनीज में अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. यू डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 resumes. And before applying any opportunity in any organization, please go through its descriptions. In every description, these are the skills that are mentioned, right? Like some companies wants us ki they at least know the Java. Some company wants us that at least you should have a good knowledge over the Node.js or C Sharp or .NET, right? So before applying into those companies, please make sure that you have added that skill in your resume, and not like that कि तुमने सिर्फ ऐड कर दिया. At least you should have a small grasp over that thing as well, क्योंकि अगर तुमने mention किया है in your resume, interviewer or pre-assumes that you at least know some bit of it. Okay. Okay, Vikas, definitely I'll share with you in the latter half of the session that how you can find the more opportunities for you. Okay, so yeah, so what I was saying is ki resume not getting shortlisted. So this is a major point that you should consider while applying for that opportunity. And once you make that 2 or 3 resumes, please do a resume review. Please get it reviewed from your seniors, get it reviewed from someone who is working in any product based company or in any other startup. Okay, they will definitely give you a lot of insights. If there will be any link that you have missed, if there will be anything, there is there any layout, then if the layout of the resume is not good, then they will suggest you the like the key points or the improvement that is required. Okay, others are saying, like few of you are saying like they are rejected in the interview, so definitely I'll consider them as well. Like if for rejecting in the interviews, basically the major part, see, I, for being into the Amazon, I have itself taking a more than 100 plus interviews right now. And the major challenge I usually saw in all the students who are getting rejected in the interview are the one, like they are not able to communicate better with that interviewer. Even though they know how to solve that any question or any DSA question, they are not able to communicate their thoughts. They are still not able to express ki how they made that algorithm. If I ask them that, can you just explain like why did you wrote this line, they are just completely blank. So that is something which give a very bad impression on the interviewer. So please do consider itself that once you are going for an interview, make sure you know how to communicate well and how to connect with your interviewer, so that at least you can exchange your thoughts. Even in case you are going in the wrong path, your interviewer can help you out to in getting the right direction for that question. Okay, so this is really really important to prepare before, like once you solve any question, please do prepare, please do prepare to explain it to yourself first, and then try to evaluate ki how well you address those words, how well you are able to communicate it. Okay, is this clear? Can you please confirm in the chat if you have any doubts so far? Okay, definitely, because I will consider it like how to prepare for DSA. Definitely. Okay, so for that, let me quickly share with you the next poll so that I can know a bit more about you. Online resources. Okay, so I have started up the poll so that to know ki like which online resources you all are that you are mostly relying on, so that I can tell you like which better resources are still available nowadays. Okay, so can you please mark it up in the poll? In the meanwhile, let me address the Prajwal's doubt. How can we know our resume will beat ATS? Okay, Prajwal. So instead of like doing a hack or kind of something to beat the ATS, try to make your resume ATS friendly. There are a couple of websites who are like kind of the ATS checker. So you can go through this. You go to those websites, add your resume, upload your resume there, and add particular keywords in the search bar. And then for those keywords, your resume will be got analyzed, and that ATS will tell you with the percentage that how well your resume is framed and how well it is to catch those keywords. Okay, so this is something that you can do. Few websites I can suggest you to make up the ATS friendly resume. One is the Overleaf, other you can use a Nova resume nowadays, and there are like few AI based websites are there as well nowadays, which can make up your resume if you just mention up the keywords and your skill sets or your projects. It will definitely add all the things on its own. Okay, Prajwal, I hope this answers your query. Vikas, let me address your query now by going through the poll. Okay, so most of you answered like, okay, so many of you are only relying on the YouTube or on the only on the paid course. So I think nowadays no one is relying on the books and the old notes basically, or the written form of learning, right? Okay, so definitely YouTube paid courses okay, let me tell you like what is the difference between both of them. I'm not saying YouTube is bad. I itself now, even as of now, I learn most of the things now only from the YouTube, so I'm not saying YouTube is bad. I'm not saying if YouTube is good, then taking the paid course either from any other platform or even from the Udemy Coursera is bad. The only difference is if you are using the YouTube, there are a lot of resources, there are hell lot of resources present out on the YouTube, right? Even most of every like almost every of one have posted something regarding any particular topic, right? So it is very difficult for us to choose the best among it, right? That means the resources are very scattered basically. If you are using the YouTube, it might take a couple of hours for you, or might be take a couple of days as well, to get that perfect right resource for you, right? Because अगर मुझे किसी का समझ में आ रहा है, that doesn't mean कि दूसरे को भी उसका समझ में आएगा. That is the common point, and this is something we all agree upon, right? So it might take a few hours, a few days for you to get the right resource if you are using YouTube. But if you are using any paid course, you already know about the fact आपने उसकी at least एक preview वाली video देखी हुई है, and that preview video helps you in getting decided like you should take this course or not. But in the paid course, what the difference is कि in YouTube everything is very scattered. अगर आपने एक topic पढ़ लिया है तो that doesn't mean कि उसका second topic उसी के channel पे उस particular इंसान ने बनाया होगा. Maybe possible you have to rely on some other sources as well, right? But if you're taking up the paid course, the paid course basically this is something which is making you assured that you shouldn't have to go to any other resources for getting this particular subject, right? अगर आपने कोई particular paid course लिया है, even for example for the DSA preparation, then that particular course is something कि उसने DSA के सारे parts वहां पे cover up किए हुए होंगे, right? So this is the basically difference. There is nothing wrong in taking up the paid course or on the YouTube. The only thing is कि दोनों ही course, दोनों ही resources में, the only drawback is that there is no one who is continuing following up on you, right? अगर मैं आज YouTube पे पढ़ रहा हूँ, अगर मैं कल नहीं पढ़ता, तो there is no one who will gonna push me. If I'm taking the paid course, then there is no one who will gonna push me, right? Because they are nothing but पेड कोर्स और यूट्यूब में कुछ नहीं है. पेड कोर्स में बस उसने सारी की सारी चीजें एक सीक्वेंस में अरेंज करके दी है. यूट्यूब में कुछ भी अरेंज नहीं है. बट दोनों ही कोर्सेज में देयर इज नो वन who will gonna tell you कि you are doing it in a wrong fashion, you are doing it in a wrong way. There is no one who will gonna push you if you are not doing the things. There is no one who will gonna track your progress, like how well you are doing, and like which thing you should do and which to not as of now, राइट? क्योंकि अगर आपके पास में अभी प्रिपरेशन, अगर आपके पास में फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू आर अ स्टूडेंट एंड यू हैव अ लाइक ईयर लेफ्ट फॉर योर प्लेसमेंट्स, तो प्रिपरेशन पार्ट डिफरेंट होता है. If you have 3 to 5 months, then the preparation track will be completely different. So in both of the resources, there is no one to tell you like which to rely on, which to not. So this is basically something a drawback, where the long term mentorship or any mentors which are come into the picture, like if you have any mentor with you, if you have someone you can say ki who validate you, then this is something you can say that you are grateful if you have a mentor, right? So this is where the long term mentorship comes into the picture. Like he will gonna track your progress, he will tell you like which to do, which to not, the most trusted resources that should rely on, how, like I have seen like no one has voted to the books and notes, but still I believe in these days as well, like if you're going for the interview, rather than relying on the YouTube or any paid course, try to rely on your self made notes. If you are watching up a video, if you are even taking up a paid course, please make handy notes for your interview, so that at the time of the interview तुम्हें सारी वीडियो नहीं पढ़नी पड़ेगी, बस अपने नोट्स देखे एक बार, सारी टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज वहां पे एल्गोरिथम्स की लिखी हुई हैं, वो एक बार देख ली, एंड दैट यू आर गुड टू गो, right? So this is something your long term mentorship helps into the picture. Okay, so we'll quickly move to the next slide. Okay, networking. So at this point so far, I'm assuming that you are, no matter if you're a working professional, no matter you're a student or a fresher looking for a job in any of the organizations, the so far the preparation level is almost same. That you have to do might be possible. Their hiring process might be different a bit, but there are couple of common things that they will gonna ask you the DSA questions, the problem solving round. They will gonna ask you, there will be a technical interviews, there will be the online assessment round, right? Online assessment round will be considered, some companies do consider it as a completely an aptitude round, some consider it as a CS fundamentals, right? So I'm assuming so far you all are from you are all are looking for the jobs, and you have prepared a good DSA, right? From the DSA, I just meant not a CP, but a good problem solving skills you have possessed, right? If you have possessed a good problem solving skill, now you are looking for the opportunity. How networking gonna help you and do the wonders for you? Let me tell you. See, I am someone who is working already in a FANG company, right? For example, you already has a connection with lot of peoples who are working in FANG, who are working in startup, who are working in banking based companies, or who are working in either in the service based companies. And now you are looking out for the job opportunities, right? So now you do not have to rely on any external source. You do not have to rely on the career portal. If you find the right opportunity on the career portal, you can directly ask him to give you the referral, right? For the resume review part that I told you before कि resume हमें apply करने से पहले एक बार resume का review जरूर करवा लेना. Since you have a lot of good healthy strong network, तो तुमको अब बाहर के सोर्स पर रिलाय करने की नीड नहीं है. तुम्हारे पास में resume review होना था, वो तुम्हारा हो गया via the networking. Since you have a good network of good peoples in the organization, in the corporate, you ask him to review your resume. Once your review is done, you can ask him to validate ki, to give you the referrals in that organization. Even you can ask him कि अगर तुमको लगता है कि मेरे किसी network का कोई some there's his friend of friend who is working in some organization, you can ask him to provide you the referral from his friend, right? So some networking is something which can help you not even in the preparation, but in giving out the referrals and to provide you the right opportunities for you. If you're looking for the startups, basically, for example, if you're looking for the startup, right? So startup culture is something कि जहाँ पे founder को, hiring team को, it doesn't matter a lot कि आप पहले कहाँ थे. If you have the right skill set, they will gonna hire you, right? तो a strong network that doesn't mean कि सिर्फ आपके पास में किसी corporate के ही connections होने चाहिए. If you have a good network with the founding peoples of that startup, you can directly ping them, right? अगर founding person को लगता है कि that you are worth enough, he or she will definitely consider your resume and will start the hiring process, right? So this is how the networking usually works. I'll definitely tell you in the latter half of the session ki how you can make your networking more stronger so that you can ask for the referrals. But yeah, I assuming that if you are someone ki yahan pe kisi ka network strong nahi hai, then you can like ask from your mentors. अगर तुम्हारे mentors नहीं है, you can book a session on the trial, you can book a long term mentorship, and your mentors definitely gonna help you because your mentors is someone who is already working in that corporate, who have already good network, so you can utilize his network, right? दो चीजें होती हैं, या तो मैं खुद के कंधे पर रख के बंदूक चलाऊंगा या दूसरे के कंधे पर रख के बंदूक चलाऊंगा, राइट? तो खुद के रख के अगर तुम्हारा खुद का नेटवर्क स्ट्रांग है, गुड टू गो, ask for the referrals, ask for the resume review and everything. But if you doesn't have the good network, instead of waiting up कि मैं पहले कुछ साल wait करूं, you can ask your mentors to provide you the referral. You can ask your mentors to get your resume review. You can ask your mentor to validate you like where you are doing wrong, because your resume is not getting shortlisted or you are getting rejected in the interview. Okay. And even if you are using any these resources, like if you are taking a many paid course, for example, right? So paid course is something यहाँ पे तुम्हारी money जा रही है, right? If money is taking part in any process, it automatically becomes important, right? So even in the paid course, before taking up any paid course, you can ask your mentor as well ki, to validate this, at least check it a preview, at least go through his index, like if he or she is covering all the parts or not, so I can decide better to take this course or not. Okay, so that's how now let's move on to the next slide, that is the making best use of LinkedIn. Right, so there are a lot of social medias nowadays. There's a Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's LinkedIn, Twitter, right? But basically, for looking out for the new opportunity, for the corporate sections, for the employees, for the founding members, there is a separate social media platform that is LinkedIn, which is completely based out on the fact कि यहाँ पर आप अपने लिए इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें भी ढूंढ सकते हो, जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी ढूंढ सकते हो, अप्लाई भी कर सकते हो। और वहां से आई हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स who are getting job just by using LinkedIn actively and appropriately. ओके तो पहले हम लोगों ने देखा था कि इफ यू हैव अ गुड नेटवर्क हाउ यू कैन यूटिलाइज इट, बट आई एम नाउ कंसिडरिंग कि आप में से किसी के पास भी गुड नेटवर्क नहीं है। ओके so can please confirm, like if you are, can you please confirm into the chat, like if you are using that LinkedIn actively or not? Can you all confirm? Just write yes if you are using LinkedIn and no if you're not using LinkedIn. Okay, many of you are saying no, 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 no. Yes, Mahesh is saying yes. Raj is saying yes. Okay. Okay, no, no. Okay, using. Okay, so I'm considering, Prajwal, that you have just an account there on LinkedIn, but you are not using it daily. You are just opening it on weekly or bi-weekly basis. Okay, perfect. So most of you are not using the LinkedIn, right? So in case you are not using LinkedIn, let me tell you let me be brutally honest with you that if you are not using LinkedIn actively, you are missing on most of your opportunities, to be very honest. Because see, if you are prepared for if you are, like, I'm assuming that if you are job or interview ready, right? And you are not out showing your work, you are not showing Saraj, minimum connections. Okay, okay, I'll consider that point as well. Okay, so if you are not out showing your work, if you're not showing like which achievements you have done, which achievements you have achieved so far to the connections, you are missing out a lot. Let me tell you how. See, you and all the 12 on an estimate, basically more than 10 to 12 lakh people do their BTech from the computer science background, or from all the, or running from any other field, right? I'm assuming that they are 10 to 12 lakh plus people, right? And you are competing with every single of them, right? They are looking up for the opportunities. Even a guy from a civil or mechanical background usually looking on the job opportunities in the CSIT field. So I'm assuming that you are competing with all of them, right? There are hell lot of applications. If you are applying it for if you are applying for any job, right? How you can stand out from them? You can stand out by putting all your fair achievements on posted out on LinkedIn. ठीक है, एक डिफरेंस है बहुत, there is a very marginal difference between what you are posting upon LinkedIn. I have seen a lot of people taking this statement like, do outcase your work on LinkedIn. They usually take this line in a very, you can say, in a very different direction, that they, if they have solved, for example, one question, they will post it out on LinkedIn. Ki I have today I have solved this question. I have seen a lot of people who are posting ki today I watched this video. Today I, in that entire project, they will start putting up like, or every single step, that today I have made up the HTML code. Other day they will put that I have added the CSS into it. So please don't do this. This will make your connections, this will like make your profile to your connections वे like कि ये इंसान कुछ भी मीनिंगफुल पोस्ट नहीं करता, right? So if they get a that kind of vibe from your profile, they will start ignoring your post, right? So I'm from the point कि out show your work, I'm doesn't mean कि अगर आपने एक छोटी सी भी स्टेप ली है उसको लिंक्डइन पे डाल दो, नहीं। एक बार आप पहले जॉब इंटरव्यू के लिए रेडी हो जाओ। अगर आप रेडी भी नहीं हो, अगर आपने फॉर एग्जाम्पल किसी कॉन्टेस्ट में पार्ट लिया है, यू गेट अ डिसेंट रैंक, यू गेट अ डिसेंट रैंक, दैट इज समथिंग आपको पोस्ट करना है लिंक्डइन पे, right? Why I'm saying this? Because there are HR recruiters, there are people of that organizations, right? There are managers, there are founding members of the startups. Everyone is there on the LinkedIn, everyone is there on LinkedIn to see कि कौन है एक right candidate. अगर आप चीजें continuously डालते रहोगे, so it will create a good picture in their mind ki this is someone we can consider in our company as well, right? This is something which helps me as well. Abhi in the end of the session, I will definitely share my story, like how LinkedIn helps me in getting the right opportunities. But before that, I'm just telling you that from that posting out on LinkedIn, I never meant कि आपको सब कुछ पोस्ट करना है. सब कुछ पोस्ट नहीं किया जाता, सिर्फ मीनिंगफुल पोस्ट किया जाएगा. If you have made a project, if you thought कि this is project which is worth to be shared, which is worth of others time, then do post it out on LinkedIn. But it is not like कि अगर आपने आज एक स्टेप कर लिया, एक स्टेप को आपने डाल दिया LinkedIn पे, right? And as someone asked me, like minimum connections on the LinkedIn, the LinkedIn algorithm, I must say, works very differently, because if you have like, share or interact with any post, all your connections will gonna see that post, right? So there is nothing about कि मैं कितने नंबर ऑफ मिनिमम कनेक्शन रखूं. अगर मेरे पास 50 कनेक्शन भी हैं, प्लीज मेक श्योर कि वो 50 कनेक्शन एक्टिव हो. तो अगर वो 50 में से 10 भी इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तुम्हारे पोस्ट से, आई एम कंसिडरिंग द वन वन 1/5, और इवन आई एम कंसिडरिंग कि अगर वो 10 भी तुम्हारे पोस्ट से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, देन ऑल ऑफ देयर कनेक्शंस विल सी दैट पोस्ट, राइट? इट इज समथिंग लाइक अ ग्राफ कि अगर कोई एक नोड इंटरेक्ट कर रहा है तो उसका नोड भी इंटरेक्ट करेगा ही करेगा. Okay, if you have started learning DSA just right now, Raj, I recommend you to please follow up the same path. At least learn all the data structures, because since you have all started just right now, you are not interview ready, you are not job ready basically. So right now, please give some time to prepare for your DSA. Once you complete it, once you solve a milestone, once you achieve a milestone, कि मैंने फॉर एग्जांपल लीड कोड पे 100 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए, बट प्लीज यार डोंट डू इट फॉर द नंबर्स. आई एम स्ट्रिक्टली सेइंग डोंट डू इट फॉर द नंबर्स. इंटरव्यू में जाकर रिजेक्ट हो जाओगे, कोई फायदा नहीं है. बट इफ यू हैव like allegedly you have solved 100 questions, allegedly you have solved 500 questions on LinkedIn, then do post it out ki today I have achieved this milestone, I have solved 500 questions, it took me this time as well. ऐसा मत करना एक महीने में 500 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिए, वो कभी भी नहीं होता. अगर आप अपने कनेक्शंस को दिखा रहे हो, वो रीड करेंगे, वो भी समझ जाएंगे कि इसने सिर्फ कॉपी पेस्ट मार दिया है. आपने लेजिटली 500 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए हैं, आपने उसके क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करके आपने जब वही एक माइलस्टोन अचीव कर लिया, आफ्टर दैट यू हैव पुट इट आउट ऑन लिंक्डइन, दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज मेकिंग योर प्रोफाइल मोर विजिबल, which is giving you the more visibility over the others, right? आपने क्वेश्चंस एक बार सॉल्व कर लिए, आई एम अज्यूमिंग आपने 100-200 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए. नाउ यू आर रेडी टू टेक पार्ट इन द कॉन्टेस्ट, प्लीज डू टेक पार्ट. वहां पे अगर डिसेंट रैंक्स आती है, डू पोस्ट इट आउट ऑन लिंक्डइन. दिस आर समथिंग व्हिच इज गिविंग यू द राइट विजिबिलिटी, क्योंकि यहाँ पर आपने एफर्ट डाले हैं. सबको पता है कॉन्टेस्ट में अच्छी रैंक आ रही है तो वो एफर्ट से आ रही है, राइट? तो अगर उसमें अगर आपने एफर्ट डाले हैं, वो चीज अगर विजिबिलिटी आपको देगी, और दिस इज समथिंग विच विल गिव यू द राइट अपॉर्चुनिटी एज वेल. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको सिर्फ इससे जॉब ही मिलेगी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर लुकिंग फॉर एनी पार्ट टाइम जॉब, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर लुकिंग फॉर एनी जॉब इन द फ्रीलांसिंग एज वेल. मान लो आप एक बहुत अच्छे फुल स्टैक डेवलपर थे, आपने बहुत अच्छी वेबसाइट बनाई, इट इज वेरी इंटरेक्टिव, यू आस्क फॉर ऑल योर कनेक्शंस टू प्लीज डू पार्टिसिपेट, प्लीज हैव अ लुक ऑन दैट वेबसाइट. इफ समवन लुक्स एट योर वेबसाइट, think it's a very really good from the orientation wise, from the color part, from that, from each and everything, it is very interactive. There are freelancers, there are number of startups as well who hire the freelancers. You won't believe, when I was in college, I found my first client, a freelance client, right from the LinkedIn, right? तो अगर डीएसए की भी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो, देयर इज नथिंग टू बी हरी अबाउट कि आपको अभी की अभी स्टार्ट करना है, यहाँ से जाते लिंक्डइन पे अकाउंट बनाकर 2 पोस्ट डाल दिए, ऐसा प्लीज मत करना. बट अगर अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट है, डू शो इट ऑन लिंक्डइन. अगर आपकी एक अच्छी प्रोफाइल बनेगी वहां पर, योर प्रोफाइल अट्रैक्ट योर ऑडियंस विल हैव अ काइंड ऑफ अ व्यू इन देयर माइंड कि ठीक है, दिस इज समवन हु यूज्ड टू पोस्ट अ गुड कंटेंट ऑन इट, सो आई कैन डेफिनेटली कंसीडर हिज प्रोफाइल. ठीक है, एंड वंस यू हैव अ गुड कनेक्शंस इन योर प्रोफाइल, दे विल डेफिनेटली गिव यू द रेफरल्स एज वेल. डेफिनेटली दे विल नेवर सो नो, बिकॉज यार किसी को क्या ही मिल जाएगा, किसी को ना रेफरल देगा. अगर मुझे भी लगता है कोई वर्थ इट कैंडिडेट है और मुझे उसे रेफरल देना चाहिए, आई विल डेफिनेटली गिव देम द रेफरल, राइट? और सेकंड पार्ट, अब होता क्या है कि आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट अबाउट टू एड्रेस इट, बट हाँ, हम लोग यूजुअली करते क्या है, हम लोग लिंक्डइन पर रेफरल के लिए मैसेज करते हैं, राइट? बट वी यूज what used to happen with us ki we didn't get a response from them, right? If this is the case, please write yes in the chat so that I can address it. Otherwise, I will just move on to the next topic. Can you please anyone confirm if same is happening with you? Like you are messaging on LinkedIn to the peoples and you are not getting the response, right? Correct. We not used to get the response from them. We ping them continuously, periodically we do the follow ups. हम लोग follow up भी करते हैं उन लोगों से पास में, but हम लोगों को response नहीं मिलता. This is something that happens to back then to me as well. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपके साथ ही हो रहा है, ये सबके साथ होता है. But there are few hacks which I have noticed from the past days, from my past mistakes, that you can also like these are the hacks which you can also try so that आपका टाइम भी बचेगा और रेस्पॉन्स रेट जो होगा वो भी इंक्रीज होगा. फर्स्ट इज कि आप देखते हो किसी ने लिंक्डइन के लिए कोई जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी डाली, right? For example, if I am the one who is posting out ki there is a job opportunity for all the freshers, for all the 1+ year of experience people in Amazon for the software engineer role, okay, please feel free to fill up this form or do reach out to me for the referral. अब होगा क्या, मैंने पोस्ट डाला, मेरे पोस्ट को फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10,000 लोगों ने भी देखा, 10,000 का मैं 1% भी अगर कंसीडर करता हूं तो 100 लोगों ने मुझे मैसेज कर दिया, राइट? अब अगर मेरे पास ऑलरेडी 100 मैसेजेस आ चुके हैं, इट इज वेरी अनलाइकली दैट आई विल गोना गो थ्रू योर मैसेज और मैं सबको रेफरल प्रोवाइड कर पाऊंगा. एक रेफरल की लिमिट हमारे पास में भी है, राइट? तो जिसने पोस्ट डाला है, प्लीज डू नॉट रीच आउट टू हिम कंसिडरिंग इट कि वो ऑलरेडी उसके पास मैसेजेस आ चुके होंगे. अगर उसके पोस्ट पे आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि 50 भी इंटरेक्शन है, 50 इंटरेक्शन फ्रॉम दैट आई जस्ट मेंट कि लाइक कमेंट्स भी हैं, तो उसके पोस्ट पे एटलीस्ट 10,000 व्यूज आ चुके हैं, उसके पास ऑलरेडी 100 लोग रीच आउट कर चुके हैं. व्हाई आर यू रीचिंग आउट टू हिम? जस्ट टेक दैट जॉब आईडी फ्रॉम हिज पोस्ट, ask someone from the same organizations ki hey, I have saw a post today that Amazon has the opportunity in the SD role with 1+ year of experience with this job ID. Can you consider my profile? उसके बाद में अपना रेज्यूमे अटैच कर देना. दैट्स इट. अपनी स्किल सेट मत लिखना, इतना बड़ा मैसेज टाइप करने का कोई नीड नहीं होता. Please do not write all the skill sets, all the previous experience projects. Please do not mention at all. बस अपना एक बार resume के अंदर your job ID, sorry, resume के अंदर your email, your phone number should be there, and apart from that, just directly add the job ID. किसको भेजना है? उस इंसान को भेजना है जिसने पोस्ट नहीं डाला, उस इंसान को भेजना है जिसके कनेक्शंस कम हैं, राइट? जिसके कनेक्शंस कम हैं उसके पास में आप कनेक्शन भेज सकते हो, बट डायरेक्टली कनेक्शन रिक्वेस्ट भेज कर रुक मत जाना, डायरेक्टली इनवाइट वाला मैसेज भेजा करो. कनेक्शन रिक्वेस्ट भेजने के साथ में एक लिंक्डइन पे ऑप्शन भी आता है पर्सनलाइज इनवाइट का. वहां पे आप डायरेक्टली सब कुछ मत लिखो कि मुझे मेरी जॉब आईडी ये है, मेरा रिज्यूमे ये, आप वहां पर लिंक अटैच नहीं कर सकते. सिर्फ एक छोटा सा मैसेज भेज सकते हो अराउंड 50 वर्ड्स का. वहां पे आप सिर्फ इतना भेज सकते हो कि हे, आई हैव फाउंड अ राइट अपॉर्चुनिटी इन योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, प्लीज फील फ्री टू कनेक्ट विद मी सो कैन आई कैन शेयर द जॉब आईडी एंड माई रिज्यूमे. अगर वो इंसान मैसेज देखेगा, डेफिनेटली वो देखेगा क्योंकि उसके पास में कनेक्शंस कम है, राइट? तो वो डेफिनेटली कंसीडर करेगा. ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ एक ही इंसान को भेजना. प्लीज डू रीच आउट, दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ अ हैक, राइट? इसमें भी पॉसिबिलिटी है कि वो ना देख पाए, अगर उसके कनेक्शंस कम है तो वो एक्टिव ही ना हो लिंक्डइन पर, राइट? दोनों केसेस हो सकते हैं. तो इसलिए सिर्फ एक इंसान के पास रीच आउट नहीं करना, 2-3 के पास करना है, बट हर एक कैटेगरी के. एक बार उसके पास में जिसने पोस्ट नहीं डाली, एक बार उसने उसके पास डालना. एचआर कनेक्शंस, बिकॉज यू कैन डायरेक्टली डू रीच आउट टू द एचआर, बट यूजुअली in FANG companies, the employer referral can work for you. In the startups, definitely HR connections works plays a very vital role, क्योंकि वहां पे HR has a direct connection with the founding team members as well. तो वहां पे HR के पास रीच आउट करना is something good, but still I am saying the same point. HR के पास में बहुत सारे ऑलरेडी रिक्वेस्ट जा चुके होंगे आपके टाइम तक. So please make sure कि you are not only reaching out to the HR, you are reaching out to all the peoples. From all the people I just meant कि एक बंदा ऐसा उस टीम का, उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जिसके पास में कनेक्शंस कम है, एक ऐसा पर्सन जिसके पास में कनेक्शन ज्यादा है जो एक्टिव है. एचआर के पास में भी आप रीच आउट कर सकते हो बिकॉज दे आल्सो हैव द एबिलिटी टू प्रोवाइड यू द रेफरल्स, बट दिस इज हाउ यू कैन रीच आउट. ठीक है? Second point is please don't say hi and wait for the reply कि वो तुमको hello भेजेंगे. Please don't say hi, I hope you are doing well. Do not say these lines because in that, for example, if I say you all ki hi, hello, how are you all, I hardly see a response from your side. Right? अगर मैं अभी भी तुम लोगों को बोलता हूँ कि personally messaging Vikas is good. Personally messaging is good, but the thing that matters is कि आप मैसेज में लिख क्या रहे हो. अगर मैं भी सेशन में आके सिर्फ तुम लोगों को कहता हूँ कि हेलो एवरीवन, हाउ यू आर ऑल, hardly I will receive any response, right? Because the point is कि I respect your time, you should respect my time. I am giving something informational to you, you should get revert back to me with something information, with something which is worth of my time. So hi hello का मैसेज मत भेजना, सीधा भेजो hi, I hope you are doing well. I have found this opportunity on the career portal, or I have seen this post on LinkedIn today that Amazon is hiring or XYZ is hiring for this job ID for this role. So this is my I am attaching my resume. So if you have a time, or please feel free to refer me, or please take a minute from your busy schedule to look upon my resume and refer it. ओके, आफ्टर दैट अगर उनके पास में आपका रेस्पॉन्स नहीं आता है, आफ्टर 24 आवर्स एक बार फॉलो अप, डेफिनेटली यू कैन कंसिडर अ फॉलो अप. बट एक ही इंसान पे सिर्फ स्टक मत होना, प्लीज डी रीच आउट टू 2 or 3 पीपल्स. उसके बाद में तुमको अगर रेफर, डेफिनेटली देयर इंक्रीज द पॉसिबिलिटी. हर एक कैटेगरी के आपने एक एक बंदे के पास में रीच आउट किया, इट विल इंक्रीज योर चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग अ रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम देम. ठीक है, आई होप दिस एड्स द वैल्यू टू योर doubt. If it is, please type yes in the chat, like a kind of something which at least validate me as well. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, now let me cover up the, let me quickly move on to the next slide. That is long-term member mentorship roadmap. So see, this is something I'm telling you कि मैंने काफी सारी चीजों को अट्रैक्ट किया, राइट? मैंने अट्रैक्ट किया आप कौन सी फील्ड के हो, राइट? एंड फ्रॉम दिस आई कैन से कि मोस्ट ऑफ यू आर फ्रॉम द मिक्स्ड फील्ड्स, राइट? हु इज, मैं बस ये सोच सकता हूँ कि मैं आप सभी को अगर एक सर्कल में डालना चाहूँ तो मैं सिर्फ ये बोल सकता हूँ कि यू ऑल आर समवन हु इज लुकिंग फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटीज, राइट? This might be a new opportunity in product base, this might be an opportunity in service base, in startup, in fang, in mang, in any other organization, right? But you all are looking. So there are number of things that gonna happen. If you're working professional, you have to revise your projects, you have to revise your DSA. If you're a student, you have to start learning the DSA. If you're a fresher, you have to make up a good projects, right? But for everything there is someone you always require to validate you at each and every step, right? क्योंकि मैंने आप लोगों को अभी जैसे LinkedIn के बारे में बताया, I need the validation that if you got the point or not, right? Everyone requires validation. If I'm someone who's posting out on YouTube, for example, then हर एक यूट्यूबर को आपने देखा होगा, please do like, do share, do comment on the video how this video is. If you like the video, please do comment, right? Because everyone wants the validations, right? So if you're preparing for anything, even if you're preparing for DSA, even if you're completely job ready, but your resume is not, but your resume is getting rejected, or I can say, if your resume is not getting considered, if you are not prepared enough for your interviews, everyone required that mentor, right? And in the mentorship, what usually difference between a small mentorship and the long term mentorship is something that I'm going to tell you. See, आपने मुझसे एक वन ऑन वन मीटिंग रखी, दिस इज द सेशन, दिस इज काइंड ऑफ अ वन ऑन वन मीटिंग, यहाँ पे मैं आपकी एड्रेस कर रहा हूँ क्वेरीज, बट आई एम स्टिल, यू गोटा नो कि आफ्टर फ्यू डेज और भी डाउट्स आएंगे, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग आई एम टेलिंग यू एज अ ओवरव्यू, हाई लेवल व्यू नहीं दे रहा मैं आपको, सिर्फ एक ऊपर से, यू कैन से दिस इज बस, दिस इज जस्ट अ टॉप, यू कैन से दिस इज अ टॉप लेवल व्यू, राइट? जो कि सिर्फ हम लोग को दूर से दिख रहा है, ये एक वो व्यू है. जब आप एक्चुअल में चीजों को करोगे, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच गोना कम इनसाइड, व्हिच विल कम इन बिटवीन, दैट विल गोना see, that will gonna affect you, that will gonna work as a blocker in your progress. So at that point, long term mentorship is something जो आपकी helpful होगी. How? Let me tell you. For example, you ask me कि tell me how to prepare for the DSA, right? अगर आपने मुझसे पूछा तो मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि okay, before starting learning the DSA, let me tell you, let me ask you that if you know any language or not. अगर आपको लैंग्वेज ही नहीं आती तो आप डीएसए करोगे किसमें, राइट? अगर आपने लैंग्वेज कर ली है तो अगर आपने ऊप्स की लैंग्वेज करी तो क्या आपको ऊप्स आती है? अगर आपने बोला मुझे आती है तो फिर मैं आपसे पूछूंगा कि आपने अच्छे अच्छे उस पे एमसीक्यूज लगाए हुए हैं, बिकॉज ऊप्स इज नॉट समथिंग कि इंटरव्यू से आप ये उम्मीद नहीं रख सकते कि आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो फैंग कंपनी में और इंटरव्यू आपसे पूछेगा व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ओवरलोडिंग एंड ओवरराइडिंग. दे विल नॉट गोना आस्क यू, दे विल डेफिनेटली गोना आस्क यू कि हाउ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट फंक्शन इज वर्किंग. Tell me a scenario where overriding is useful. Tell me a scenario where you can make use of the inheritance. तो वो आपसे what is inheritance नहीं पूछेगा, वो आपसे पूछेगा what are the scenarios that something is helpful, that oops is helpful, that in the oops interface is helpful, राइट? तो वहां पे ये सब चीजें आती हैं. ये सब चीजें कौन बताएगा आपको? डेफिनेटली यू कैन फाइंड इट ऑन द गूगल इटसेल्फ. बट गूगल पे देखने से, अगर आप गूगल पे देखोगे तो वहां पे टाइम भी जाता है. बट मेंटरशिप इज समथिंग कि आपका मेंटर ही आपको वो सारी चीजें बता देगा कि दिस इज द वेबसाइट, these are the MCQs you should consider, these are the scenarios that you should consider. Because see, this all is the planning phase. एक बार जब प्लानिंग डन हो गई, we will start on to the implementation, we will start on to the execution का पार्ट आ चुका है हमारा. एग्जीक्यूशन में आपने डीएसए पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दिया. अब आप मुझसे पूछोगे कि मैं कौन सा डीएसए सबसे पहले पढ़ूं, इफ आई शुड कंसीडर एरे और आई शुड आई कंसीडर द लिंक्ड लिस्ट और शुड आई कंसीडर स्ट्रिंग और शुड आई कंसीडर ग्राफ रिकर्शन, में कौन सा पहले लूंगा, राइट? बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ पीपल्स यूजुअली स्टक ऑन द ग्राफ एंड डीपी, right? We stuck on the trees. But अगर if we have a mentor, if we take a high level overview of all the things, हमको पता है कि ग्राफ, डीपी और ट्रीज तीनों के तीनों रिकर्शन पे बेस्ड आउट है. तो अगर मुझे रिकर्शन ही स्ट्रांग नहीं है तो आगे के तीन डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स अपने आप स्ट्रांग नहीं होंगे, राइट? तो ये छोटी 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 चीजें आ जाती हैं. दैट इज समथिंग जो हम लोग जब चीजों को करते हैं तब आने वाली होती हैं. दिस इज समथिंग दैट नो वन कैन कंसीडर इन अ सिंगल सेशन और इन अ 2 or 3 सेशंस, राइट? बट यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आता है कि हमारे लिए कौन सा मेंटर सही है. बिकॉज मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में एक लाइन बोली थी, इफ मुझे किसी यूट्यूबर का या फिर मुझे किसी का पेड कोर्स पसंद आ रहा है, दैट इज नॉट समथिंग कि वो चीज आपको भी पसंद आएगी. तो दैट इज वेरी शॉर्ट टर्म होता है. ट्रायल सेशंस कम इनटू द पिक्चर कि यहाँ पर आप ट्रायल सेशन बुक कर सकते हो, अपनी क्वेरीज पूछ सकते हो, अपना चीजें देख सकते हो कि हाउ दैट पर्सन इज एड्रेसिंग देम. If you think if he or she is worth of your time, you can definitely consider him. If you think that he's okay, but I'm not able to connect with him on a deeper basis, you can again try a book session with him. Take a second trial. If you're not, if you think that okay, I'm not, still I'm not able to connect with him, do look out for other mentors. That is completely fine. That is completely okay to take a kind of you can say you are completely responsible to take a stand on your part. अपने लिए खड़े होने के लिए तुम खुद ही स्वयं responsible हो, right? There is no one who gonna came to safeguard you. ठीक है? Okay, so covering on, so let me share with you a quick graph. So there is something, a circle that you are in currently, like looking out for a job. This is a circle where I have put you all that you all are looking for the job. Maybe it might be different, right? So you are here, you are at the dead circle. How this long-term mentorship that I showed you the previous slide, this is a kind of a pictorial or a graphical way where I will tell you like how can I help you, how can I provide you the values in. After that we can definitely do consider other things as well. We will gonna ask you, I will gonna ask you like which things you are doing. If you are doing this thing, which progress you have made, have you done your homework, kind of homework or not, have you prepared your time complexities concepts or not, right? And if you are giving up the interview, as I told you even before in the session, कि अगर आप एक इंटरव्यू देते हो, प्लीज डू कंसिडर कि आप अपनी चीजों को अच्छे से समझा पाओ. क्वेश्चन को लिख के कोड कर देने का मतलब उसमें ये नहीं होता कि आपने तो सॉल्व कर दिया. इट इज समथिंग दैट यू मक्ड अप. आज के टाइम पे इंटरव्यूअर्स यही सोचते हैं अगर आपने कोड कर दिया आपका नहीं होगा, देर आर हेल लॉट ऑफ चांसेस, देर हेल अ ग्रेटर परसेंटेज कि अगर आपने कोड कर दिया है फिर भी आपका इंटरव्यू में नहीं होगा. Because nowadays in the online world, in the virtual world, in the world where interviews are having virtually, अगर आपने वहां पे कोड किया है, that is something कि मेंटर को, इंटरव्यूअर को पता है कि आप ये कहीं से देख के भी कर सकते हो. तो डेफिनेटली दे विल गोना आस्क यू द क्वेश्चंस इन बिटवीन. अगर आप वो नहीं समझा पाए, इवन दो आपने खुद से किया, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आपने चीटिंग कर ली है, आपने खुद से किया, आप नहीं समझा पाए, आई विल कंसीडर यू कि भाई आपने चीटिंग करके लिखा है. राइट. अगर आपने उसकी टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी गलत बता दी तो सबसे पहले क्या व्यू आएगा मेरे माइंड में, भाई इस इंसान ने क्वेश्चन कैसे कर लिया, अगर उसको अपनी एल्गोरिथम की टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी नहीं पता तो. राइट. उसने कॉन्स्टेंट्स को बिना देखे टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी लगा दी, क्वेश्चन एल्गो लिख दी, चल भी गई, सबमिट भी हो गई, 100 भी आ गया. बट कैसे? राइट. तुमने कॉन्स्टेंट देखा नहीं, टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी तुमको पता नहीं है. राइट. तो प्लीज डू कंसीडर कि आप अच्छे से समझा पाओ. अगर आप नहीं समझा पाते हो, डेफिनेटली लॉन्ग टर्म मेंटरशिप सेशंस में आपका मॉक इंटरव्यूज भी होते हैं, दैट विल इवैल्यूएट ऑन द इंटरव्यू बेसिस, लाइक एट ईच एंड एवरी स्टेप your mentor will gonna evaluate you all in all. Okay, so now I'll give you time 2 to 3 minutes to address your all of your queries. So please do mention if you have any other query, or if you think that I have missed up on any, please mention it into the chat. I'm waiting for all of your queries for the next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, let me quickly take up how to negotiate salary as a fresher or a junior developer. Okay, Vikas, so if you are like already working somewhere and looking out for any new opportunity, and so before negotiation, Vikas, there is some homework that you always used to do. One is कि आपको पहले पता होना चाहिए कि आप जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जा रहे हो उसका सैलरी बैंड क्या है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप जाते हो किसी XYZ कंपनी में जिसका ऑलरेडी बैंड 10 से 15 का है फॉर 15 LPA पर एनम, एंड यू आर आस्किंग देम कि मुझे भाई 45 या 50 का चाहिए. देयर इज नो सेंस ऑफ आस्किंग सच, यू कैन से कि ये बेकार के क्वेश्चंस आप उनको ना बोल सकते हैं. अगर आप बोलोगे 45 50, HR आपको सीधा मना कर देगा, आपका जो एप्लीकेशन है उसको रिजेक्ट डाल देगा, खत्म. राइट. तो देयर इज ऑलवेज सम होमवर्क दैट यू शुड डू. होमवर्क इज कि आप उसका एक सैलरी बैंड पता करके जाओ. माइट बी पॉसिबल अगर वो 10 से 15 का दे रहे हैं, आपने 16 बोल दिया, दैट इज समथिंग HR विल कंसीडर. आपने 15 का 45 कर दिया, दैट इज समथिंग नो वन विल कंसीडर. राइट. अगर मैं भी, अगर आप मुझसे कहोगे कि इफ आई एम समवन, आई एम द फाउंडिंग मेंबर ऑफ द टीम, मैं लोगों को प्रोवाइड करता हूँ अपने अकॉर्डिंग कि मुझे मालूम है कि मेरा यहाँ जो काम होता है दैट इज समथिंग 5 LP पर एनम, दैट इज वर्थ ऑफ. आपने मुझसे कह दी नहीं भाई मैं तो 45 ही लूंगा, मैं क्या करूंगा? डेफिनेटली 5 6 का तो मैं नेगोशिएट कर सकता हूँ, 5 45 का कोई नेगोशिएशन नहीं है. तो पहला होमवर्क करके जाना कि उसका सैलरी बैंड क्या है. इफ यू डू द होमवर्क एंड इफ यू थिंक कि आपको सबसे नीचे वाले बैंड पे डाला गया, नीचे वाले बैंड पे मतलब फ्रॉम द बैंड आई जस्ट मेंट कि एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैज अ सैलरी बैंड फॉर ईच एंड एवरी लेवल. आप फ्रेशर लेवल पे एंट्री लेकर सीनियर सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की सैलरी आप नहीं मांग सकते. देयर इज ऑलवेज अ बैंड इन एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो बैंड का आपने होमवर्क कर लिया. फॉर दैट यू कैन रेफर टू मेनी ऑफ द, there are a lot of hell lot of websites. There's level.fyi, there's lead code compensation page, Glassdoor, there's Ambition Box. You can refer to any of them for taking up this band. If you find out that this is the band and you are putting up on the lower level, then you can ask for that your hiring manager or you or your HR to increase your salary. How you can ask them? You can simply send them a mail that I'm looking forward to join your organization, but the pay I have offered is something I'm not considered that valuable of my skill set. So please feel free to discuss it over a call. Then HR will definitely gonna reach out to you. You can tell him that I am on the lower band. Can we increase it? Can we make up to this point? Right? तो उसमें अपना हायर बैंड आप रख सकते हो. उनके बैंड में अगर पॉसिबिलिटी होगी वो डेफिनेटली बढ़ाएंगे. अगर आपके पास में एट दिस टाइम कोई काउंटर ऑफर है, तो काउंटर ऑफर में डेफिनेटली दे विल काउंटर ऑफर समथिंग जो आपकी और चांसेस बढ़ा देगा. ठीक है. कि आपकी बात मान ली जाए. व्हाट शुड आई पोस्ट इफ आई हैव रिसेंटली स्टार्टेड लर्निंग DSA इन लिंक्डइन? राज, आई ऑलरेडी कवर्ड दिस कि इफ यू हैव स्टार्टेड लर्निंग, प्लीज take a while, like please take a bit of your time to prepare it, and once you prepared, Yeah, so yeah, Raj, so once you prepared for that, if you completed the DSA, once you achieve some milestone, at least you have solved 50, 100, 150 questions on lead code, please do post it out on LinkedIn that I have completed this in this time, and this is my acceptance ratio, and that, and after that, the thing which is more important and will catch more which will give you more visibility is the contest. Please do part in the take part in the contest. If you got a decent rank, then this is something which will give you a more visibility. क्वेश्चन हर कोई सॉल्व कर लेगा, राइट? आपने 50 कर लिए, किसी ने चीटिंग से 100 भी कर लिए, तो वहां पे आप नंबर्स गेम में नहीं जीत सकते, बट आप कॉन्टेस्ट में अच्छी रैंक लाकर जीत सकते हो. अनदर थिंग इज, अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट आपने बनाए हैं, गिटहब पे आपने उसको डिप्लॉय किया हुआ है, डेफिनेटली अगर आप सोचते हो उसे कंसीडर करने के लिए, वो आप पोस्ट कर सकते हो. दैट इज समथिंग यू कैन थिंक ऑफ. सर प्लीज do take my query how to take level aggregate, which is okay. Yeah, Prajwal, sorry I forget to take up this. So Prajwal, if you have an aggregate of below 60, no doubt, to be very brutally honest with you, it will gonna impact a bit to you when you are looking for the on campus opportunities. क्योंकि यार कॉलेज में स्टूडेंट्स को, सभी बच्चे आए हैं, सबने फीस दी है, कॉलेज कैन नॉट use the you can say cannot use the section or the registration number की सिर्फ 50 से 100 वाले बंदे इस कंपनी के लिए बैठेंगे जिनका रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर है, और 100 से 150 वाले इसमें नहीं बैठेंगे. वो ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. तो दे यूजुअली पुट द aggregate percentage criteria to reduce the applications, क्योंकि कंपनी अगर कॉलेज में आई है, वो 800 बच्चों का इंटरव्यू नहीं ले सकती, राइट? 800 बच्चों के एप्लीकेशन भी नहीं कंसीडर कर सकती. इसीलिए हम लोग कॉलेज यूजुअली पोस्टेड आउट द एग्रीगेट. अगर आपका एग्रीगेट 60 से नीचे है, इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग फॉर द ऑफ कैंपस, इट हार्डली गोना अफेक्ट यू, बिकॉज इन द ऑफ कैंपस देयर इज कंप्लीटली अ हाई डिफरेंट हायरिंग प्रोसेस. तो वो डिफरेंट हायरिंग प्रोसेस में एप्लीकेशन अगर ज्यादा भी आते हैं आपके, तो सबसे अच्छी चीज है आप अच्छे अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाओ, अच्छे अच्छे से डीएसए रिवाइज करो, अपना प्रैक्टिस करते रहो. उसके बाद में वंस यू गेट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट, लुकिंग आउट टू इंक्रीज योर विजिबिलिटी बाय पोस्टिंग आउट ऑन लिंक्डइन. And after that, off campus mein aggregate all in all doesn't matter a lot, but in on campus it do matter. Vishakha is asking, without a CS degree, how to get a good job as fresher developer? Okay, Vishakha, so if you are not from the CSIT background, might be possible कि कॉलेज में जो कंपनीज आएंगी उसमें क्राइटेरिया हो सकता है CSIT का, but off campus में again there are a lot of people, even in my team as well, there are people who is from the civil mechanical background and now a software engineer, they are software engineer or support engineer in Amazon. So definitely college degree do matters in on campus. Maybe possible it matters in the off campus as well. मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगा कि नहीं मैटर करती CS degree. There are still some companies which will ask only the CSIT, EC, triple E field. But अगर आप, I am considering कि अगर आप civil mechanical से भी हो, तो थोड़ी सी परसेंटेज इट विल गोना डिक्रीज, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक कि आपको जॉब मिल ही नहीं सकती. और वंस यू गॉट अ जॉब, उसके बाद इतना मैटर नहीं करता कि आप कौन से बैकग्राउंड से थे. ओके अगर आपको लगता है सीएस डिग्रीज में आपको सीएस की डिग्री की थोड़ी दिक्कत आ रही है, स्टार्ट लुकिंग अप फॉर द स्टार्टअप अपॉर्चुनिटी. स्टार्टअप अपॉर्चुनिटी में जैसा मैंने सेशंस के बीच में बताया था, स्टार्टअप जो स्टार्टअप की फाउंडिंग टीम, हायरिंग टीम होती है, दे विल ओनली सी फॉर द स्किल सेट, राइट? उन लोगों को इन सब चीजों से इतना फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अगर आपके पास स्किल सेट है, यू हैव द राइट रेलिवेंट स्किल सेट, दे विल गोना हायर यू. Does online certifications, digital garage are considered, or does it adapt to the resume shortlisting? Okay, so Vishaka, you can add like doing the online certifications is good for your learning. Certifications course is something which can edit your profile कि तुम एक certified, like for example you are certified in something, तो you can just put it out on LinkedIn कि आपने certifications वाले section में add कर दो. बाकी resume में इतना I won't think कि it add a lot to your resume, because online certifications, see अगर कोर्स अलग online certification है विशाखा, तो this is something which everyone can do. but अगर वही certification तुमको किसी मेटा का कोर्स करके मिला है, अगर वही सर्टिफिकेशन तुमको, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल यू हैव टेकन अप द कोच शेफ डीएसए फाउंडेशन लेवल सर्टिफिकेट, तो वो पता है कि वो सर्टिफिकेट, आई नो यू हैव गॉट अ एनपीटीईएल सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ अबव 80% और 90%, दैट दिस इज समथिंग आई नो कि ये सर्टिफिकेशन तब मिलता है अगर आप अच्छे से कोर्स करते हो, अच्छे से आप एग्जाम देते हो, एग्जाम देने के बाद मिलता है. तो दैट इज समथिंग जिसकी वैल्यू है. बट अगर आप कोर्स करते हो जो कि आपने सिर्फ वीडियोस देख ली, आपको कोर्स मिल गया, तो ये वाली बात सिर्फ ऐसा आपको नहीं है कि आपको पता है, interviewers also know about it, the hiring person also knows about it. तो it usually कौन सा सर्टिफिकेट आपको मिल रहा है, that is something which gonna matter. Can we get machine learning engineer the fresher? Yeah, definitely, Siraj. Yeah, you can be a machine learning engineer, but for that you should have a proper skill set of learning with the Python. You should know machine learning, deep learning as well. Palak, what if someone is graduated, not placed, wanted to work on the skills from scratch and there is some okay, is this right time and platform for them? Yeah, Palak, definitely. That in the CSIT field, that doesn't matter if you have taken a break in between. If you are graduated and then you started learning, then that is completely fine. No one gonna uh, ask you like why you take a break in between. Might be HR can ask you in between, but that is something you can tell them that I was looking up for different. I have some different priorities at that time, and now I'm considering this. What is the right time to do real time project? Because definitely a real time project is something which will require complete knowledge on that on the technologies or on the tech stack you will be using. So please do consider to learn those tech stacks first, and then first made some simple projects. Directly real time project पर jump कर जाओगे, it will just gonna stuck in between and you will ended up having the demotivation. So पहले simple projects and then after you can consider real time projects. Diploma in CS will be considered. Yeah, Vishaka, diploma in CS will also be considered, but usually it will definitely reduce your chances because nowadays most of the organizations do ask at least a bachelor's in engineering or the bachelor's of technology is B or B Tech. But diploma के लिए भी again I told you कि अगर if you have a diploma in CS then you can looking up for the opportunities जो कि startup fields में है, वो इतना इन सब चीज को consider नहीं करते. But yeah, since you are not bachelors, please make sure that you have an outstanding skill set at that time. Outstanding skill set will gonna help you in getting the right dream every job you dreamed of. Okay, can you please share the LinkedIn connection request format and referral format? Definitely, Nirmal Kumar. I have already told you here as well that instead of directly sending the LinkedIn connection to anyone, send it out a personal invite to him like, "Hi, I hope you are doing well. I have seen an yeah, you can just directly written it as somewhere that I have seen this job opportunity in your organization. Please do consider my connection request so that I can share the job ID with you." Sir, is it good to negotiate salary as a fresher in startup competition? Definitely, because you can consider to negotiate salary. The chances might be less, but if you have any competitive offer, then definitely they usually consider those negotiations. But yeah, again, as a fresher, there's less chances, but the chances can be increased if you have a counter offer. But yeah, there are less chances as a fresher. But yeah, definitely this is something that you should consider. There's nothing bad to negotiate your salary. There's nothing bad to take up on your to take a stand on your part. Okay. So thank you so much all who have joined this session. If you have any other doubts or any other thing, please do consider to book a trial session if you think that someone is worth of your time, someone is worth of someone is the person who can help you in achieving your goals. Definitely you can book a long-term mentorship session with him or her as well. Okay. Thank you so much for the sessions, everyone. Looking for Vishakha, can you share the recording? Okay. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining up this session. I look forward to connect with you all. Bye bye.